Hi guys, UKRifter here. Now I'm going to be doing a review tonight of The Climb, but not only a review, I was very fortunate to be invited over to the Crytek offices in Frankfurt. Crytek, for God's sake, I am such a huge fan of this company. Crytek, the company that invented Far Cry, revolutionised, changed the PC gaming world forever when that game came along. I've just been such a huge fan. They sent me an email, a lovely guy called Bastian said, why not come over to the office and try The Climb? And I was like, yes, absolutely, of course. And you know, when a company like Crytek asks you to come and see them, you don't say no. And so I went over there and I met them. You know, I'm not going to talk about it. Why don't you watch the video?
Hello.
Hello.
Nice Good to meet you, UKRifter.
Nice to meet you. Hello,
Chris.
And
And we were talking earlier about the challenges of VR sickness and motion sickness. And well, I call it VR sickness, it's actually motion sickness, right? Yes. And you were telling me about it being confusion in the messages between your brain. I mean, tell me a little bit about how you overcame that with The Climb.
Okay, I mean, there are multiple reasons why people feel motion sickness. You have to hit 90 frames per second, right? If it's below 90 frames per second, it leads to discomfort, which leads also to motion sickness. But motion sickness in games is actually when you, as an example, I give you an example. Let's say you hear something and you think it's behind you or around you, and you look around and you don't see it. It's misleading. It causes this imagination that you ate something wrong or you're hallucinating, right? Mm-hmm. So what we have in Climb as an example is when you hear something and you turn around, you see it. So it plays on your expectation. Your expectation is, oh, it sounds like there is a bird to my right, and you look around and there is a bird, right? If there is not a bird, it makes a disconnect for your brain. It makes you feel like, okay, I'm drunk, or I'm motion sickness. I mean, I'm sick because I'm dreaming something or I'm imagining something that is not there. So whatever you see, whatever you hear and whatever you see needs to be in alignment. That's right. One way to overcome.
I think actually, I mean, some games, I won't mention any names here, but they absolutely play on this. You know, they put sort of disembodied sounds into an environment in order to bring about a sense of unease. And from what you're saying, that I mean, you get motion sickness a little
yes, I get
bad, and some people do. And you're saying that actually it's not just the vestibular system, it's not just your motion that can trigger it. It's also visual.
Yes, it is. It's a mix of both. Agreed.
Wow, that's great. So you were the crash test dummy for sickness.
Oh yes, I was together with our former QA lead as well as with our executive producer. Yes, we were used whenever there was a prototype available. People asked us, "Hey, can you play this?" and then tell us how you feel. And in early prototypes, I always feel bad, of course. But as we proceeded with the production of The Climb, I felt better and better. And then there was a moment where I said, guys, this is working for me. It doesn't make me sick anymore. I think we are on a really good track here. And of course, whenever we had like demos for events like E3 or Gamescom or GDC, we made sure we had a lot of people from Crytek playtest this. Mm-hmm. And our first reaction or question was always like, how do you feel? Did it make you sick? Mm. And you know, hearing that people didn't felt sick was a big achievement for us.
It's an excellent achievement because I think in almost every situation, unless it's a completely stationary experience, there will be that sensation of sickness. Especially if you have a forced movement. And the first thing I thought when I saw The Climb, I thought, wow, that's going to make people a little bit ill because there's some forced movement, right? You fall and you swing around. Now, I've resisted playing this game until today.
Talking about falling as an example, I mean, the falling mechanic is a simple mechanic in the game, but we had to really balance the timing of how long you fall. Mm. As an example, in the early state of falling, the falling was like for 5 or 7 seconds. Mm. That made most people feel sick. Yeah. And then we made it like for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Right now it's actually 3 minutes. 3 seconds. You're falling for 3 seconds. And that works for most people. It doesn't make them sick. And of course, it's still this feel of falling is not a great experience in general, right? In real life, if you fall, it's not a great experience, but it works. It doesn't make people sick. So it was really a balancing of time here.
You have to balance it so that it's both exciting and exhilarating without being terrifying and nauseating. Exactly. No, I understand that completely. So I'm greatly looking forward to playing it. I think The Climb is such a departure from what Crytek have done before. I mean, I'm such a massive fan of the company. When I was asked to come here, I jumped at the opportunity because Far Cry and Crysis are my two games. I mean, I absolutely love them. I won't ask the obvious question. I'm going to hold off the obvious question until the end. But why did you decide to go for this kind of game?
Okay, I mean, when we were asked by our management to think about a game for VR specifically, we said, okay, what will work in VR? And actually, there are two reasons, or two main reasons, actually, at least. First of all, we think VR is a great medium for new types of genre. A game like Climb on a traditional 2D screen or traditional PC game wouldn't really work, no. Because the immersion wouldn't be there. You couldn't never convey the immersion, right? You are going to experience yourself in a bit, but you can lean around to see the next grip. In a traditional game, you wouldn't be able to do this. So that's the strength of this medium. And as I said, it creates opportunities for new types of genres. Like for a game like this, as an example. Another reason is climbing in real life. I mean, free solo rock climbing is something that not many people will dare to do.
That's
right? It's a really intense adrenaline activity, outdoor activity, right?
And some physical capability required as well.
Exactly. And we said, hey, and we have people in our team who climb in real life. I mean, they do indoor climbing and outdoor climbing. And one of our level designers, he came up with this idea of doing climbing in VR. He built a prototype in a few days, and then this prototype was available, and then we saw our team climbing in VR. And at that moment, we knew we have something golden here, right? And then, you're sitting in a room with developers, talented developers, and artists and whatnot, and you hear people saying like, what would be great? A leaderboard, a simple leaderboard. So what we did is we built a simple internal leaderboard just to track our time. So it was about beating each other's score, beating each other's time.
Sure.
And we realized how engaging this experience is. And then, of course, we pitched this game idea to Oculus and said, hey guys, listen, we have a game here. We feel like there is something here. We could work together. We showed them our really rough prototype. It was a super white box at that date, but they believed in it and said, guys, yes, we see the potential. Let's build a game together for our platform. This really enabled us to make the climb, and Oculus has been always a great partner. Of course, they build great hardware, making sure that we can build this kind of experiences for a medium like this. But on the other end, also they had a usability testing group. They gave us always good feedback so that we could improve our gameplay mechanics and gameplay in general.
Okay, interesting. Now, I think you touched on an interesting point there, because as a genre, it's not been done before.
Yes.
And so then if you try to explain this new genre to someone who doesn't understand VR, they're going to look back and think, hang on, how can that be? How can that be even slightly engaging? And that's back to the problem that a lot of people, the majority of people, even gamers, don't really understand VR.
Yes.
How do you market that? How do you get people engaged into your game?
That's a good question. But most people, when back then we had a tech demo or two tech demos, back then 1 and 2. People said, hey, you should release a video of this. Problem is you can't convey this immersive 3D experience on a 2D screen. No. And that's what I tell people. If they have an opportunity, they should always put a headset on. Even though it's just an experience where you stand and you just look around, it will make you understand the value of this medium.
I completely agree.
I mean, this is one way. And another one is, I think, as we developer build games that utilizes this opportunity of this device, people will understand the value more and more. If you try to build a traditional game for VR, it won't work. You really have to. That's a design challenge, and one of our game designers will talk about this a little bit more in detail. You have to create gameplay that really works in VR. Like we have most of the questions we get is why not arms? Why only hands? Right?
Sure.
And that I can give you the reason for that is, if you see your arm and it does something that it doesn't feel natural or intuitive, it makes a disconnect. It breaks your immersion.
Yeah, you're doing that.
Yes,
it's not transferred.
Exactly. Yeah. And actually, even the length of your arm, if it's not in like how long your arm is in real life, right? But if you see an arm that is rather short in the game and it doesn't feel like your arm, it won't feel immersive. It will break your immersion. So we said, why don't we limit it to hands only? And the controls, and you are going to experience yourself. You can verify this hopefully. It's natural and intuitive, and it doesn't break your immersion at all. Because hands, we all have hands, right? I mean, we have hands, and it doesn't matter how big the hands are. We know, okay, we have hands we can grab, right?
Sure.
And it's the same for all. So this is really intuitive and natural way to climb and to proceed or move in our game. So yeah.
I want to keep, obviously, the questions I ask on topic, and the temptation is to ask very obvious questions about some of your other titles. But anyway, I'm just going to jump back to one that's related, and that's obviously Back to Dinosaur Island 2, which I felt was a little bit of a sort of introduction to the concept of the climb, potentially, because you were scaling the face of a cliff. And I actually used that one as a demo to people to really explain how VR can make you afraid. And it's for every single time I'll sit someone in it and they'll go, oh, what's this? Ah! And that reaction is just makes me laugh.
Especially the first
fantastic.
The first contact with the flying dinosaur is also most of the times a remarkable moment. Yes,
it is remarkable, and the great thing about that demo is it's not trying to terrify you, but it's just keeping you on edge. Yeah. And I imagine that's what you're trying to achieve.
And there is this moment as you climb up in Back to Dinosaur 2, you have a dinosaur sitting on the top of this hill, right, throwing some debris at you. Yeah. And actually, we don't tell most people to dodge them, but people do this by instinct, right? They see something's falling, they do dodge this. This is funny to see because they are really in this world. Because VR creates, one of the things you have to do for VR is creating presence, right? Making sure that people feel like part of this world. And that's what we did and we do. Then the second one is that what you see and what you hear is in an alignment. Like as an example, in Back to Dinosaur 2, we use that example. You hear something from here, you look and you see a dinosaur, right? You even, through the sound, you expect that something is going to happen. Then you see, and then it's a shock moment. Oh, it's a dinosaur, it's just taking off, right? And I think all of this makes this medium great. Really, that no other medium will enables us to do games like this. And I think really the presence, the immersion, and of course natural and intuitive controls. This, if you play this very well together, then you will have a great experience in VR.
Sure. Okay. Interesting. So for yourself, when was your personal kind of eureka moment? When did you feel that VR was going to really change things?
Actually, I had my first experience on DK1 with the roller coaster experience, right? That was a terrible experience for me. It made me sick. That moment I said, okay, this is not going to work out. But the eureka moment was really when I'm referring to our game. The moment in our game, the eureka moment in our game was when I forgot that I was climbing in a virtual world. I really climbed for 15 minutes. And previously I couldn't spend like more than 10 minutes in VR. I climbed for 15 minutes, I realized, okay, it doesn't make me sick. It's a great experience, and for a second I forgot that I was climbing in a virtual world. I felt like I'm there, I'm climbing. And in our game, when you reach the vista, when you reach the top, you have an event that is unfolding around you, and then you have this nice vista. I thought okay, I'm just in the Alps now. And for a moment I forgot that I was in a virtual reality. That was a eureka moment. And that was the moment where I realized, hey, actually, you know what, VR is going to work. It's a great experience. And that was my moment when I forgot that I was playing just a game.
Yeah, that's a really nice thing to say. I think presence is always seen as like the holy grail of VR, and it's very hard to actually put a finger on what that actually means. When you start to play VR titles, it's just amazing. Yes. You still know it's a game. And I've had this experience myself where you go into an environment and you just sit there for a while and then you just feel like you're there. And
recently, like 2 days ago, I was watching somebody playing our game on Twitch. He spent like 50 minutes in an level that one of our testers can finish in a minute.
Wow.
So you see, but he spent 5 minutes just looking around
at the view.
Yes, it's like, oh guys, this is awesome. Oh, look at this. It makes me feel like I'm in Vietnam. That was his feedback, right?
That's
and
great,
this is exactly what we wanted to achieve. Yeah. And then as he was climbing, he made stops. He said, look at this. This is amazing. Look at the sun. He was so blown away. And he spent literally 15 minutes in the first level, even though our testers can finish this level in a minute. Because for us, it's just developing and testing, right? But for most people, especially for people who will have the first contact with VR, it will be just mind-blowing. They will be so amazed by the fact that they're there, that they create presents, and also the fact that they have opportunities to do things they wouldn't be able to do in traditional games. Like, as an example, looking around, letting go, falling, the feel of fall, the feel of sense of scale, right? All of this is VR is a perfect medium for that. So yes.
So my wife plays VR, and my wife, I think the appeal. Someone asked me earlier, what's the appeal of the channel, my channel? The appeal of my channel is I'm not a screaming teenager, and I don't mean that as disrespect to the screaming teenagers on YouTube, of which there are many. But I'm just a kind of middle-aged bloke who just plays games, and my wife sometimes gets involved. And I remember just recently she was playing a driving simulator, and she pulled over to the side of the road, parked the car up, put the handbrake on, and just sort of looked at the view. What are you doing? Just drive. But the point was that she just enjoyed it. She just enjoyed the presence of the scene. And from what you're saying, it's almost like the goal. In fact, what you're presented with at the end as a reward is the scene.
Yes, exactly.
That's it. And
exactly.
that, I feel, we're not doing that enough in VR. So I'm actually quite excited about that aspect of it. I like the idea that you can maybe, and I don't know if this is included in the game, development note here, but if you could, when you complete a level, go back to that vista and just sit at the vista. Because people do appreciate it.
You can spend as much time as you want. I mean, what we have is there is a score, but it doesn't block your view. So you could spend, if you want, an hour there just looking around. It's up to you. You decide when you want to go back to the menu. And, one of the reasons why of course, you're climbing a rock face, and there must be a goal and a target, right? But one of the most interesting things is, as you climb up, the climbing up is a challenge, right? Mm-hmm. You have to overcome gameplay challenges. And when you make it to the top, you're so exhausted that you need a break. Mm-hmm. And that moment, reaching the top, having this nice vista, is really a gratification for all of your actions you have taken in the game.
Sure.
It's like this moment of celebration. It's like, yes, I managed to climb up here. Now let me enjoy this vista as long as I want. It's really that moment. So this is one of the reasons why we have this, to make sure that people, when they are on the top, can celebrate their moment and celebrate what they have achieved. And of course, there are challenges on the way up, and you will experience this yourself in a bit. Okay. And some are really fun, some are challenging a lot, but when you make it to the top, it's worth it, for sure.
Okay, excellent. I had this discussion, and I'm sorry to put you on the spot with this particular question. But obviously this title, I'm guessing, would be a great deal more immersive feeling with the Oculus Touch controllers.
Agreed.
But then again, you obviously had to create it to work with people that didn't have Oculus Touch, because that's going to be maybe a minority of Oculus users. Are you looking forward to that particular aspect of the game being patched and released?
Yes. The client will also support touch controllers when they are available. And actually, if you play the game, there are a few... We implemented some challenges, like there are technical grips that require half press.
Okay.
So we when we had the gamepad in front of us, we said, okay, how can we utilize and unleash the potential of gamepad, but still create an experience that could work also with touch controllers?
Yes.
So the half press is one way has to go, for instance. And the technical grips are really challenging, and some people, especially when they are in the client for the first time, the way they hold their gamepad is like they're like, gripping. This is my secret. That's my secret moment. If I let this go, I will fall. Right? Actually, it's not the gamepad you have to hold. It's just a button, right? But seeing them holding it like this, it's like it's so funny. I told this to the guys this morning. One of our internal people, when we asked her to play test the climb, she played actually for 50 minutes, even though the session was planned for 15 to 20 minutes only. We said, let her play, she's in the flow. But the way she was holding the button or the controls was really fun, because she was holding it like this. Oh my God, I'm going to fall, no. It was so great moment for us. And as I said, of course, this game, just to come back to your question, the client will support touch controllers, and we have some mechanics for the gamepad that create already some challenges, and technical grips one of the challenges.
Yeah, I think the touch controllers are particularly well designed for this kind of game, because the buttons are so closely aligned with a grip.
Yes. And it adds to this intuitive and natural movement, right? In the gamepad, it's still a gamepad. It's pressing buttons, right?
Yeah.
It's support. It doesn't break the immersion. I wouldn't go that far.
No.
But touch controller, I mean, when you do this movement then yourself, it will feel more natural, and it will support the presence and immersion more, right?
Sure. Okay. But the visuals remain the same, of course,
Yes.
regardless of the controller
Yes.
you're using. I imagine it's still a very exhilarating experience.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to trying it.
Have fun.
Thank you. Good to talk to you.
Thank you, sir.
And please introduce yourself.
I'm Jos van Laar. I'm a level designer here at Crytek.
I'm Niklas, I'm a game designer here at Crytek.
And I'm Rio, and I'm a UI designer at Crytek here.
UI, obviously, is very important. You've got to get this right. It's got to be intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how did you approach it with the climb? What challenges did you have?
So the biggest challenge for the UI was to get it into the 3D world, right? So usually what you would do is you put the UI on top of the screen after the world has been rendered, right? And this doesn't, of course, work in VR, right? It's disorienting. Would be infinitely projected essentially, and it's uncomfortable to read stuff in the corner of your screen, right? So we wanted to put it into the world, and of course from that comes all of the challenges that come with putting stuff into the world, which is, a lot of the UI in our case is animated, and they're actually set up very similarly to how a character would normally be set up in a game, right? So all of these tools we had to use from different departments to actually build the UI. So that made the UI actually much more complex to build in that sense. In the sense of making it intuitive, it's just, that's just some good design tricks.
Good design tricks, yeah.
Exactly. It's just stuff that's already been used before on mobile, for example, condensing information, making choices simpler for the user.
I mentioned the UI because it is actually quite a well-designed UI. Actually stood out for me when I went into the game. I actually just stood there looking at it for a little while because it looked so lovely and vivid and white. And as you move through it, there was these beautiful animations, and it just opened up in front of you. Actually, really well done. I mean, I think it's one of those areas of a game people ignore a little bit, and it's actually incredibly important.
Yeah.
It's almost like the rolling intro credits to a movie. You know, when like it starts, and you're like, this is a straight-to-video movie. It has to be right. So it looks good.
Actually, animations is a big part of that. To keep what we do with the Climb UI a lot is we try to draw the attention and lead the attention by the animations. So when you select one of the environments, then these triangles split apart, and
Yes.
you have these levels now that you can select them. Once you select that, then it also goes back and it turns into the play button, right? So we always direct your attention to where we want it to be.
There's a really nice flow to it. Yeah, it's actually really, really good. So thank you. So just on the subject of VR, now we started to talk about this a little bit earlier. There are some issues with VR from my perspective, and when I think about the challenges a company like you would face, it's that not many people know what VR is. They have an idea, but they haven't experienced it. How hard is it to sell a climbing game to people that don't know what VR is?
Well, it's VR. It's really something you have to experience, and I think in that case we really have to rely on the early adopters. That they just get a VR headset and they will try the games, and then they kind of become evangelists for us and for the whole industry with selling the game. So we just on launch day we found one guy who was streaming our game, and we all just went into the Twitch chat and were talking with him and having a lot of fun, and we even streamed it here on the launch.
That's fantastic.
And I think it was fun for him, and it was fun for us to just see the people being excited about that. And he started a Reddit thread about that, and people there said, "Oh yeah, we saw you play, it looks awesome, I also bought the game." And I think it's more this word of mouth is now more important again, or pictures of people just enjoying it, and it's also great to see. Just makes you feel proud and makes worth all of the effort you put into it.
Absolutely. I think it's a thoroughbred company. I'm sure you don't mind me saying. Crytek is known obviously for Crysis and Far Cry series as well as other fantastic game franchises. I think the idea that Crytek are backing this, that gives it weight, and it's good that you guys are in VR early. You were right at the bleeding edge of this, and so you're really kind of reaping the rewards. So this is really great to see. And myself as an FPS guy. This was actually really refreshing. I held off playing it until today, and it was a great experience. I really enjoyed it. I mean,
It was also new to us, new hardware, new kind of medium actually altogether. Like instead of the 2D or 3D medium, now we actually, well, it's still 3D, but all around you,
yeah,
you're
all around 3D.
inside the experience, if you will. And as you said, our background lies with shooters, and trying something like the climb was interesting in a lot of ways. Like things we maybe wouldn't have done initially, or it's like actually, whoa, this is actually really cool in VR to do, and now we did.
Yeah, we really have to thank management for that. They just let us do what we wanted to try. They just say, hey, we want to do something with VR, not just play around, and then we just had time, and then we found the climbing, and we said, yes, that's it, and that's
I think
what leads to the climb.
I think people are really excited to work on something that's so different, right? I mean, throughout the project, I could definitely feel like people were really excited to be working on this. Like you felt this buzz around the office when people were working on the climb. It's really exciting to have worked on it.
I mean, Crytek, I agree, absolutely bleeding edge. I mean, there's a lot of companies involved with VR now, but Crytek were clearly ahead of the curve, and that's really, really great to see. I think, you guys who've been involved in gaming, in different aspects of gaming for a long time, what was your first VR experience, and how did that strike you?
It was a specific game called Windlands.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if...
I know Windlands, but
Yeah,
we could.
it's,
I guess we could talk about Windlands.
Well, that was actually my first VR game, and I think I even tried like a Quake, the old Quake in VR.
Oh, yes.
But that was a little bit too quick for me initially. I was not that comfortable. I tried Windlands, and that is actually the game that actually convinced me, like, this is actually something, this is cool.
Something very amazing.
And even the first game where I tried to push the limits, or tried to find my VR limit, like how long can I play VR? And I think it was like 3 hours, and I was done and I was about to leave the office, and someone ran into me and he's like, whoa, dude, you look really bad. It's like, actually, I know people that have smoked weed who look better than you right now. So, yes, I apparently looked terrible, like after playing. So, but that got improved so much. Like I got more immune to VR, and and also other things that we would have done differently. For example, VR. That was my first VR experience.
What about you guys?
Yeah.
I think it was also Windlands. We had so one was sure that we want to do something with VR. We had one station where we just installed all the VR demos we could find on the web, and we tried all of them. I think it was Windland. It was so cool. Yeah, just all the stuff trying out, and then I think pretty soon after that, our first own VR demo back to Dinosaur Island, which was also pretty impressive because you had all the things all around you.
I think you're doing a bit of a disservice. It was a really incredible demo, and it's actually I was talking to your chaps earlier. It's in my folder. I call VRginity demos. Anyone that comes around to my house and they want to see what VR is, I show them Back to Dinosaur Island 1 and 2, and it's just a really nice, accessible demo.
It's a good start because you already get sold on what VR can be. Just being there, everything is around you. But also it's safe because you don't have to move, so you don't get motion sick.
And it was also for us a good first benchmark, a good lesson to see how far can we push visuals, and still maintain the VR experience without you getting sick and stuff like that.
That's a very good point. I mean, Far Cry and Crysis, Far Cry particularly, when the game engine was first introduced, and it was introduced at a game trade show many years ago. And it just wowed everyone. I remember the buzz around Far Cry was huge. Obviously, there's issues then taking that fidelity of graphics into VR, maintaining the same frame rates. How have you optimized this? How have you made it work? Because the climb looks amazing. It's like Far Cry.
It's a lot of departments and a lot of work from everyone, actually. It's art having to rethink of how they've constructed the world, really analyze like what are the bad impacts on performance and try to optimize that somehow, and that somehow is also involved with code. We have some amazing coders who absolutely know the engine in and out, and they've really supported and helped us trying to get the 90 FPS being able to run, and without having to put too many restrictions on us, actually. I didn't feel constantly restricted, like you really can't do this because it has to be 90. So kudos to those people.
Yes, they really put a lot of effort in it. When I heard the first time we have to hit 90 frames, and usually we have games between 30 and 60, where you only have to render one screen. Now you have two where you don't have to render everything twice, but some things you do, and it obviously has an impact on performance, and that we're still running smoothly on 90 frames. The team has done a great job.
I remember some people were saying, it's like, okay, so VR, it probably has to be an increase in FPS somehow, but it'd probably be like 65 or 70, and they were like 90 per eye. Oh, okay. But it was still, actually, like I said, it was done quite quickly and really well done, actually, by all the departments involved.
The UI was kind of separated from all of that because the menu is such a lightweight level, so I didn't really have to worry so much about performance. I could have done, there is actually almost no performance pass on the menu at all, because it's just running completely fine, even above target at some points.
That's good. Excellent.
That was easy for me.
So within the game itself, you have to instill a sense of presence in order to make it feel real, in order to make it feel challenging. How do you make it feel present? What tricks do you use?
You basically you impact the world as well. It's actually the little things that actually help you sell the experience. Being able to touch a plant, being able to, grab a grip and some particles are coming off, or like some dust particles, birds, butterflies, the little things that definitely sell it, and obviously the presence in the world with the 360 all around you, 3D, you have a lot of details, a lot of just really the tiniest details, like even on the gloves on your hands, like every stitch is hand modeled, where it sounds insane thinking about it. It's for VR. It definitely helps to sell the experience, because if the stitch on the glove must be that detailed, then the whole world must be that detailed.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
And that was very observable. I think that a colleague of mine on our site, Don, VR Gamer Dude, he talks about micropresence. He says micropresence is what makes VR, and he's right. And in the climb, it's very obvious. You have the sweat coming down your brow. You have the sense of panic with the changing colour in your peripheral vision, which is amazing. I've never seen that in a game. I think maybe even Far Cry had something similar, but
and definitely
just very
sound.
clever.
Sound is a very important aspect, if not like half of the experience, if you ask me.
I think sound is one of the bigger impacts in VR, much more so than in traditional games.
You know from where things are coming. You just know it's to your left, to your right. When you have at one point you have an eagle flying by, and you just what was that? And you just turn around and say, oh, that's an eagle. Cool.
Definitely.
So
Farty said exactly the same thing earlier. That it's actually quite disorientating. If you turn around and hear a noise and the noise source isn't there, your brain says something's up, and that's a trigger to make you feel unwell or uneasy in an environment. And you're absolutely right. The Climb does a fascinating, amazing job of just having every bug, every bird, every eagle, every dash of a plant.
It's half in the name, virtual reality. So we try to aim for reality. Not just the visuals, but also the accompanying audio is definitely an important part on that.
Our cinematic designers and AI programmers work very close together to even introduce a improved Boyd system. So it's a very simplified AI we have, which has really small impact on performance.
Plus, they're expert on creatures now.
Yes, they've treated everything. So when you go by with your hand, you have the bugs on the wall. They're running away, and they can't do 180 turns. So they have to do it in a certain curve with a certain speed, and then they run away. It's just so much effort they put into that. It's all these little details which just add to it, or a moth following you and flying around your head because you have a headlight on. Things like that.
Fantastic.
It just makes all of that so real, and you think, okay, cool. I just grabbed there, and all the bugs are going away. It's cool. Yeah, that's because I grabbed.
I remember hesitating to grab a ledge because there's a cockroach there. I'm like, really? And I put my hand there, and he scuttles off. I thought that was just very
accurate, I felt. So yeah.
And it's interesting you mentioned cockroach, and you're like, ugh. It's something, you know, that's also part of your presence is being able to tap into fears of people.
Yeah.
Having these little creatures there, but they feel so real and so in your face almost that people are actually getting scared. Vertigo, you know, afraid of heights. You definitely feel that in VR. We had some people scream when they played. It just makes us chuckle and really enjoy. You know, we managed to do a good job here.
Well, we still tried not to, you know, be mean, like putting spiders and all that.
No,
Yeah,
it's
said,
not cheap.
okay,
It's
yeah,
not cheap.
Yeah, we wanted to that you still can play the game even if you're scared of spiders and all that. So we just put some bugs there and all that, just to make the environment feel alive.
Well, I think, you know, a similar kind of design feel is back to Dinosaur Island. You know, that was a kind of introduction into potentially the concept around the climb, especially Dinosaur Island 2, where you're coming up the face of the cliff. And what I really admired about that was there was no jump scares. I mean, clearly there could have been ways you could have terrified people in that demo, but you didn't. You just had the odd pterodactyl pop his head up and squawk at you and then fly off. And that seems to be the kind of almost the kind of ethic you've carried forward into the climb, right? You've said jump scares are cheap.
We were going for a different kind of wow almost. Like you know, we can go spectacular, we can go scary as you mentioned, but just the world, and if it's pretty enough, people will be wowed by it. And that also for us was kind of not a drastic change, but definitely something that they were like, hey, that's interesting to utilize even more. So just to be able to sell the world, the little interaction I mentioned earlier, the sound and you know, the world itself can be amazing. And that's also, for example, why the climb, you're climbing on these natural mountains, and you know, it's just really beautiful. And that can be even more impressive in VR.
Yeah, we want to keep it kind of casual, in that way that we don't want to overcomplicate the game mechanics and make it accessible to everyone and just enjoy being there. So you can just we also added a tourist mode where you could just play without stamina and chalk, so you just can climb as long as you don't let go, you won't fall. So
you kind of just enjoy the game without being good at the game.
Yes, just enjoy the game. It's kind of the parents mode, the grandparents mode. So if I gonna show it to my parents, I won't drop them into the real gameplay with all that stuff around, with all the stamina and all that around, all the mechanics. Just for them, just give them the control and say, okay, those are the 2 buttons you have to worry about, and that's all, and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because basically in the end what we want to have the players experience is not that they feel they're playing a game, but they feel like they're in the environment actually climbing. So,
and just having some cool moments.
Yeah, exactly. And this tourist mode and you know, just being able to enjoy the environment is really amazing.
And again, having their environment react to you being there, right? Not just having this static scenery that you're going through, but also, you know, like you said, with the bugs going away as you're moving your hands, or, you know, vegetation flopping about as you move your hand through it, and all this stuff.
Yeah,
it's funny how much of a challenge you have, and I keep going back to this because I really feel it is a challenge in educating people that you don't need to be dual-wielding pistols shooting at aliens in order to enjoy VR. I mean, the idea that I could play this game, reach a vista, and spend 10 minutes just looking at the view, it seems incredible to anyone else, but until you try it, you'll know what I mean. The fact is, you would enjoy that view in reality, you'll enjoy it in virtual reality, and that's the way it is.
Yeah, it's also one of the things. So one time, I think for a few weeks or so, I didn't play the maps quite frequently, or at least not to the end, because I was busy with other things. And once I played it again, they introduced these end events at the end, and you just come up and you just hear the scream just cheering you reach there, and then you have these birds flying by, and you say, this is so peaceful. And I just want to watch. I want to watch the sunset and all that.
Yeah, that's the kind of feeling you get, which is really quite incredible for a game to instill.
It's almost difficult to sell to a person. You climb up a mountain, you see some birds. Maybe it doesn't sound maybe that exciting per se, but when you play it in VR, it is really that exciting.
You get a Steam achievement? No, you just get to look at some birds.
It's just... also this whole thing, I don't think that climbing wouldn't work that well without VR, because in VR we can get close to real climbing. In the case that we really... I think part of the fun of the game for us always was looking for grips. It was always like, okay, this is a dead end. Where's the next grip? And you just look around this corner. It's there. And it's like this. You've been there 3 times, and you always find something new. We have different routes to each checkpoint, so the people, if they want, they can compete with each other for the highest score, for the highest time, and all that.
That's a very good point. The multiplayer aspect of this, or rather the kind of competitive aspect of this, it will keep people coming back. I can imagine, because I mean, my entire team of guys who work for VR Spies, I can see us doing that. I can see us playing the game and enjoying it, but going back to the game for the competitive aspect. Clearly, a lot of thought's been put into that. I mean, what is that just born from the office?
No,
banter around the.
We wanted to have some kind of racing, but asynchronous, so that you can just play against other people, even when they're not online.
Without getting distracted.
And then just someone implemented it, and then some people from us in the office, we just started every morning. The first things we did was trying to beat the times of the others, and then sending around mail. It was, I was faster than you by 1 minute, beat that. It was just fun.
Wow, do you have any jobs going on? This sounds fantastic.
Full-time climber.
And so the competitive aspect is, and forgive me for not knowing this, is ghost mode only at the moment?
Yeah, it's ghost mode only, but we have different ghosts, we can say. So we have the leaderboard, and we have the leaderboard with different categories, like just score, or just time, or your average through time and score. And for each of those, we store different ghosts. So your best time isn't necessarily your best score. So you can decide what you want to race against. Do you want to race against the time, or do you want to race against the score, which involves different kind of gameplay and different kind of thinking when you go through the levels.
And it also encourages people to go out and try to find the quickest route, obviously, and maybe take risks that they haven't done the last time. And that's exactly the replay.
Also, it intensifies the game even more when you see somebody's ghost, catching up to you or getting ahead of you.
You hear the sound.
Exactly. It makes you really like, no.
It's also learning from each other by just looking at our QA playing and saying, I didn't know that I could skip this part. And then you go back and you say, okay, it just saved 30 seconds for me.
Yeah, sure. So I guess a bit of a leading question here, but I guess you're looking forward to the Oculus Touch controllers.
Yeah, sure. It will also, I think it will deepen the immersion of the game. By it's not just looking, it's not really like reaching and just pulling yourself up, and it's it's fun.
I was actually very impressed with the way it worked. I mean, I had experienced the control mechanism from Back to Dinosaur Island 2, and if people haven't tried the climb or don't own the climb, and you have tried Back to Dinosaur Island 2, you'll know how immersive that is, and how intuitive, that is. And I was actually very surprised, pleasantly surprised, how fun it was without Oculus Touch. Because I came here today, and I've got to say, I was thinking, I hope they let me play with Oculus Touch. I hope they use the dev kit in the drawer at the back. But actually, the gripping onto the controllers, it was actually incredibly intuitive and actually really, really fun. But that said, I'm also looking forward to Oculus Touch. So.
Yeah, but the game initially was starting development with just the gamepad.
Oh, right, okay.
Then we heard, okay, there's touch coming. And sure, well, why not support that also once it gets released?
Right, okay, so you really did build the game with the touch controllers.
Yes, with the gamepad
as a back,
once the touch controllers will release, we will also update the game to support touch gameplay, and then you can choose what you want to play with and what is more comfortable for you.
That's great. I'll very much look forward to that. So one of the aspects around VR, I demo VR to a lot of people, is of course VR sickness. Now, VR sickness is one of these areas, it's a bit scary for large companies such as yourself to invest in something that might actually cause people to feel sick. How do you get over that challenge with this game? How do you make it more comfortable?
Well, we looked at a lot of things, tried a lot of things. Starting, from the earlier games, and we used that as a base, and we would do certain things a certain way, and we found that that's not working because it's making people sick. It's really about trial and error. Try it out, experimenting what does work and does not work. Little rotations, sudden movements that the player is not expecting. Those are just examples of things we found that we may have done in titles like Crisis. You would get lift off quickly, or you would slide down a mountain or whatever, and those things were not necessarily good for players in VR because it made people sick. And that actually is also a problem in a way that some things will work for some people and will not work for others. So we also have to make a conscious decision of, are we going forward with this? If 2 or 3 people out of 10 are getting sick, well, it's a minority, but
Are
it's
you
still
watering it down for the remainder? Is the question, isn't it?
For example, yes. Or are we just going to say, it's just too much of a risk, let's not do this thing, or try to find alternatives. So we take the base and obviously try to, alter it slightly, and then until we were happy. For example, before we started on the climbing concept, we looked into several movement schemes, like walking around, teleporting, for example. It's still an ongoing investigation, actually. But one of the things that we found really interesting that got you through the environment without being able to walk, for example, was climbing. And it's almost sounded a little bit stumbled upon. Like we were just thinking of okay, there are several ways to obviously move through an environment, but we won't know how it is until we actually prototype it. So prototype was made fairly early on, and this actually resonated really well with everyone fairly early on, where everyone's like, this is interesting.
I think everybody felt like, oh man, this is it.
This is something. This is something. It still had this little problems in the beginning, but the overall concept was really well executed, and we just build upon that and upon that and upon that.
So it was really born. The climb really was born from looking for a different way to challenge the issue of VR sickness, really.
Kind of. We thought about what is cool in VR, and we thought about, okay, let's try sync, let's try movement, let's try climbing. Yeah. So, and then just there was climbing, and it's okay, it works, and it's cool, and Oculus likes it, we like it, and it's okay, let's make a game out of it. And we were lucky to find that. That's also one of the scariest things with VR. Is there's not much reference yet. It's like everybody's looking for this one holy grail of making nobody sick, and especially for movement. And I think for climbing, I think we are pretty close to that. We spent so much. We've done so much prototypes and spent so much time on just trying. When do we move the player? Do we move? So there were different prototypes. There was one when I grab, I move between both hands, and once I release with one hand, I move to the one which is still grabbing, and it was just so weird because we had suddenly 2 movements, and this was really bad for people. So we only move the player on player action, which is on the grip, then he expected, and then he moves, and we move him no acceleration or deceleration, one quick movement. And all those findings we had along the way, and all the prototypes we built, we've put that back into the climb, and then at some point we had something which made nobody in the office sick again. That's also one of the things you get used to.
I completely agree. You get used to it, and actually in the climb it's very noticeable that you do this fast transition. You mentioned it there briefly, and that is surprisingly doesn't make you feel nauseous. It must have taken a lot of study. I think you mentioned it earlier, sort of offline. You're doing research in this area, obviously. It's an important area to do research in.
We have a lot of people with an unhealthy obsession with what making people tick and vomiting. And actually, I was almost blown away by how a lot of our coworkers knew about this is good and that's not good, and you should do this and not do this. And I don't know if they just investigated.
I know, it seems to be
research
intuitive
to them. Some people really have this natural way of thinking about this, this works and does not work. And we have also several people on the team that are climbers themselves, so they know what works for them and doesn't work. And hey, this is really cool, but I would never do that in real life, so probably shouldn't do it.
We're also fortunate to have some people which get easily motion sick, so if we have something new to test, we just gather them and they say, could you play that and tell us how bad you feel after this?
That was Fatih, wasn't it?
We have
told me that was him.
But we have even some which are even worse than that.
Oh, okay.
And at one point we reached a movement scheme which didn't make people sick.
That's great.
And we said, okay, that's good. And then we realized, okay, we now have it. And then we just tested it with more people. And I think now all the people I've seen playing it, they didn't feel sick from the movement and all that. If they felt a bit uncomfortable about it, it was only because they were afraid of heights, and it just had a physical impact on them.
I would agree. I mean, I suffer from fear of heights, and when I played the game earlier, I didn't suffer from any nausea from the motion. I probably felt a little bit of nausea from just the sense of dread.
Yeah,
it's like,
but you would have that in real life as well,
like
probably.
you would in real life.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it wasn't like an unpleasant feeling. It was just like the continuous surge of adrenaline, just making me feel a little bit uneasy.
Good.
Good. Exactly good. I mean, I actually was really impressed by that. It just it kept that going. It wasn't something that went away either. You know, you go around the corner, you see a different aspect, you look down again, and you think, oh God, I shouldn't have looked down. I've been playing this game for 20 minutes now. I still can't look down.
Yeah.
Happy to hear that.
Yeah,
It means that it was well executed.
People also really start, when you play, you really start to sweat. And it's getting really physically intense. So at the GDC, we sent a lot of people when they all said, okay, they were done after the few minutes they played.
That's great.
And it's, but you get used to it. But still, so even now that we developed it for so long, even I still get sweaty hands when I do really, really risky things. And it's just like, okay, I want to do that, and I don't want to screw this up.
Yeah.
And then you just at one point you have to.
Yeah, I actually felt like I needed a bag of chalk myself. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the first world problems we have is that a lot of the people who used to be sick when testing are immune to VR now. So it's either because we did it correctly now, or that it's like people are just getting used to it, and we're running out of test people, test subjects. Yeah.
Okay, guys. I think we've covered virtually every point here, from vomiting through to
I'd say so.
the
Well,
cockroaches.
we didn't have anyone vomit.
Well, that's
really
very
proud
good.
of that.
Yeah, that's very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I cannot say the same. But thank you so much for talking to me. It's been an absolute pleasure, and fantastically well done with the game. It's an absolute
Thank
pleasure
you
to
very
play,
much.
and
Thank you a lot.
I'm sure a lot of people will enjoy it.
We hope
Cheers.
so too.
Thanks.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, without further ado, let's jump in there and take a look at the Climbed gameplay. Quite exciting. Absolutely beautiful menu system, extremely well designed, and the menu system is something that so many people ignore, but a well constructed menu like this actually makes it look very good. So as I glance around, I just use my face to look at the different options, and I can jump in. Now I've already gone through the practice, the basic tutorial, and in fact the advanced tutorial, and these are, I would say, essential. I tend not to read instructions or do any of the practice stuff when I try a game, but in this case it is actually very important, because especially with the advanced tutorial, there's things you really need to know that make the game a lot more challenging and fun, like the technical hold thing, which I'll show you a little bit later. So I'm going to jump in and I'm going to try the bay first. So let's take a look at this. Now I'm going to go for, I've done easy. Should I try yeah, what the hell, let's jump into medium. Now, of course, you can play this in a kind of challenging mode, but I'm not doing that. Now, it's breathtaking. Honestly, a tingle goes up my spine. This is so unbelievably beautiful. And I remember, unfortunately, when I did the recording at the Crytek studios, they managed to unfortunately lose the recording with the audio on it. And so we had a bit of a problem actually getting that footage back to me. So I'm doing the recording now in my home, and it's even more beautiful now I look at it than I remember. In fact, I'm absolutely sure this has had an update, because I don't remember that boat. I'm sure I would have that flying boat. I think I would have noticed that. Now, what's incredible about this game is not only the kind of massive environment and all the rich, wonderful things going on behind you. It's also the microscopic environment in front of you. So as I glance down at this rock, the textures look absolutely brilliant, the leaves look beautiful, and I can, as I move my hands around, my hands stretch out. Now, as I grip with my trigger, I make my first move. If I hold on too long, my hand will get tired eventually. See that band going red, and sweat appears on my brow, and I fall. But I'm lucky here. I'm near the platform, so it's not going to hurt me too much. Now, that's what happens, okay? So your band goes red and then you fall. If I'm holding on with both hands, then I'm not going to fall.
So if I let go, the band starts to go. Let go the other hand, the band starts to go. Now what you have to do is you have to apply the chalk. So you have to do that from time to time. And also you can trigger this look where you can actually see which direction to go, and you can turn it off again or turn it back on. It gives you a little hint. And of course there's more than one option to get up these rocks. Often there's many different routes, some hard, some less hard, and really when you get stuck you press the little button here on the side. Let me just check which button that is. You press the B button and it will give you the route. Okay, so and look, this is a good one as well, and I keep forgetting about this, but you press the X button and you can actually look at your watch, and your watch actually shows you the time in the game. The timer starts when you grab your first hold, right? So I actually started immediately. Okay, now by letting go of the triggers and grabbing, leaning forward with my head to sort of reach, as it were, like that. Whoa, stretching my neck muscles up. Oh, here we go, something's flying past. Hold on, good advice indeed. Whoa, I can stretch with my neck and lean over. Now, I know what you're thinking, Oculus Touch. And of course, Crytek, they know this is going to be absolutely superb with the Oculus Touch, but I've got to say, the control mechanism's very good. They had to build this game to work with an Xbox controller and Oculus Touch, of course, because not everyone's going to buy Oculus Touch. That would severely reduce the number of people they could market this to. And as a control mechanism, it actually works incredibly well. Back to Dinosaur Island 2 used a similar control mechanism, and that was a bit of a kind of like a sort of oh yeah, see, I couldn't grab it then, I had to lean right round. That was obviously a little a sign of things to come with that control mechanism there, which I didn't actually fully cotton onto. So if you want to re-chalk, you have to press that bumper button. You have to do it quite quickly, otherwise your other hand gets tired. But there's a little hint here. If you've got a good grip, you can balance your trigger so it goes inside the band. You see that? It's white on that side, but it's blue on the inside of that band. Now if I let go of that hand, if I can just balance it there, I can hang on with one hand for as long as I like. That's my little handy hint to you. You can find out these in the advanced tutorial. Look at that bug. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Now even when like I forgot to do it, then you can actually start to do it and get your grip back and hold it as long as you like. Look at that. I can brush my hand through there. Now let's just do that again, right? So as your band goes red, watch what happens with the effects. You get this wonderful glow which kind of emanates from your vision, and it sort of comes in from the side of your vision, from the periphery, and it's a really excellent way of kind of instilling a sense of panic with a visual cue. And also you have the sweat which runs down your brow, which is again another visual cue that something's not quite right, as if you really need it, but it just adds to the tension. Okay, so I'm going to traverse this cliff, so I'm going to lean, and you can actually get quite a long way, you see. Look at that, and let go, and your hand comes towards you again, and now lean, and I can grab again, and grab. Now if I were to press the, I can't remember what the name of this button is. I'm rubbish with buttons. If I press the A button, I can jump. Now jumping immediately makes you physically feel a bit concerned, because you obviously fly through the air and you have to time the grabs with your trigger. Otherwise, if you miss it, you're gonna fall, and that's gonna hurt. All right, I've talked enough. Let's just climb up this cliff and let's see how quickly I can do it. I'm gonna go to the left, I think. Oh, a crow jumped out at me then. Okay. Now, if you think you need chalking, let go with one of your hands, right? Get the balance point with the other one, press chalk, and then re-grab, right? As soon as you touch one of these sort of, oh God, I can't remember what they're called. I thought I'm gonna remember. Oh, carabiner, that's it, carabiner. Touch that, and it's basically a save point. You can see it's written on the strap there. Look at that bug. As you get close to the bugs, they sort of wander off. I love the fact that somebody probably spent a long time programming the AI into a beetle. Absolutely fantastic, the attention to detail here. So I'm going to try and jump down there. Let's see if I can. Whoa, God, that was a bit hairy. Now a jump is going to make you sweat, and when you sweat, the chalk comes off your hand. So I'm going to try and re-chalk now. Let go. Yeah, it's actually pretty easy. See, if you get the technique, you actually have enough time to re-chalk without doing that kind of technical grip trick. But, you know, sometimes it is actually very handy. Right, so I'm going to jump to that checkpoint. And I've touched it. You can cross your hands over. You see the way I've crossed my hands over there, but it can be a bit of a brain freeze moment when you think, oh, hold on a minute, which one do I let go of? And invariably, you let go of the wrong one. So I'm going to jump across that gap. When it's nice and clear like that, it's actually incredibly easy to do. Now, the quicker you go, obviously, the more red appears on your band, and, you know, the sooner you'll have to stop to re-chalk. Now, you see my hands are already quite sweaty. So we have to concentrate a little bit, sorry, neural overload, it happens. Right, oh, that was good, that was good. But the thing is, like, when you jump between a gap, don't immediately move off, because you will find that... Go climb, I'm trying, you're disturbing me. You will find that basically your hands are tired from the jump, and you know, you might fall. Okay, so it says to re-chalk. I'm going to take that advice, so I'm just going to do a technical grip there. And I'm going to do the same this side. Okay, and I've got to leap up here. Ooh, that was close. Now, you can't see your body. Now, that was an intention, you know, that was done intentionally by Crytek, because they thought actually having your body in it, I can't remember the exact reason they gave, but essentially it would not give you a sense of being in the game. Right now, clearly, the only way I'm holding onto the side of that is if my leg is up against that cliff. Now, if I had an avatar below me with a leg against the cliff, that would be a kind of visual sense that my body should be in a different position to how it actually is, and it might make me feel a bit nauseous. Because I'm not seeing that, it actually makes it better. You know, I actually prefer to see the hands, and I understand completely why they've done it. Okay, let's just do this. Technical grip, and here. Now you're probably thinking, actually, to watch this can't be terribly thrilling. But I can assure you it absolutely is. The sense of height as I glance down there truly gives me the willies, as we say. Oh, look at that balloon. I don't remember that either. Maybe I didn't look around enough. Right, jumping up. Let's not faff around too much. Let's get on with it. Okay, so I'm going to jump. Whoa, God, that was close. That was close. Now, if at any time you think, where the heck am I going? Remember, you can press the button and get an idea of where you're supposed to go. Whoa, God. Oh, God. And also, you have to sometimes lean round corners. You can't always see. It's not always very obvious where you're supposed to be going. The Rift has virtually no kind of drift at all. So it's very rare that you have to reset your head position, but you can reset your head position. Oh gosh, I just pressed restart. I didn't actually mean to do that, but anyway, no matter. Let's go this way. You can reset your head position, but as I've just indicated, I pressed the wrong button there, and press and hold both triggers to resume. There you go. Right, okay, so I did that wrong. You reset the head position by pressing the select button on your remote, and sorry, I pressed the wrong button there. And you don't really have to do it very often, but you might find that you do from time to time, especially if you're standing, because you tend to sort of drift from your central position when you're standing. When you're sitting, I've never had a problem. And I actually prefer this, and probably the Crytek guys won't like me saying this, I prefer this as a seated experience, because I can lean more, I can sort of stretch my neck up and stay in the same position, and stay kind of centrally rooted. It actually feels a bit better. I'm going to jump across there, let's go for it. Whoa, that was good. Let's lean across with that one. Now, as you cross your hands over, of course, you can only lean so far. I mean, I can lean quite a long way with that hand, but I can't lean so far with that hand as you cross over, just as you'd find in your normal kind of climbing. Not that many of you, I'm sure, are climbing up cliffs like this. Right, so be careful. It reminds you when you need to re-chalk, of course, which is kind of useful. Let's get that technical grip done. And the thing about chalking is it means you can just sort of go faster without having to pause so much. That's really the point of it. Oh, yes. Oh, that was a good one. It's tremendously satisfying. It's very hard to explain, but when you actually make that jump and grab, it gives you a real urge, like a sort of sense of kind of achievement and satisfaction. It's very, very hard to describe, like very, very kind of concerning moment that immediately becomes sort of, oh God, this really got me then. just looking across at that thinking, really? Those dangly bits? It really, honestly, I'm terrible with heights anyway. I get a little bit of vertigo. And that just then, oh my boy, that's oh God, oh my God, oh my God. All right, so the sweat is pouring down my brow now, and I don't know if that's actually in the game or actually in reality. It's very difficult to say at this time. Oh, right, I need a little hint here. Where am I going? Up there? Seriously? Oh God. I need to rechalk that one desperately. Okay. Hang on. Careful now. All right, let's go. Oh, where am I going now? I guess over there. Oh God. Right, I guess up there. Oh yeah, watch this. Ready? Oh God. No, that's not good. I'm trying to show you a swapping. No, it's not doing it. Oh yes. Right, my hands are getting a bit sweaty now. I'm going to try and jump up there. Oh! It's quite terrifying, this game. I'm actually too scared to look down. Oh boy. Oh, look at that. That's brilliant. Okay. Obviously I know it's not real. Don't think I'm being daft here, but my brain just refuses to I don't know, be intelligent about this, I guess. Oh, so much going on, so much to look at. Anyway, I must get on with it. Right, so I'm going to clamber down here. Now, where am I supposed to be going? Okay. I could make that leap, but because it's sort of... Oh! Okay, I'm right, alright. I'm okay. Do you reckon? Oh! Okay, here we go. Oh! It's not as easy as I'm probably making it look. The number of times I did this actually at Crytek and fell was huge. And so there is a sort of, an amount of kind of playing you have to do to get good. That's all I'll say about it. It's not something that you're going to get straight away. See, this looks very tricky, but let's try. Oh, that was quite odd. I kind of bounced against the rock, didn't fall very quickly, and then sort of hovered there for a moment. Right, which way can I go? Where? Oh, really? There? God's sake, really? Oh boy. Okay. Now the Crytek guys, as far as the falling's concerned, they purposefully made the fall quite short, just a couple of seconds long before it fades to white. And they did that on purpose, of course, because they don't want people dying before they hit the ground, I guess. Well, no, that's a bit kind of scaremongery of me. That wouldn't happen, of course, but it would make you feel quite sick, and they were quite conscious of that, and obviously quite concerned. They don't want to alienate their audience too much. That was quite a fall, but I seem to be on track somehow. All right, let's keep going. I thought I was a goner then for sure. Okay, probably need to re-chalk at some point. Ah, great, I've got that one.
Oh. See that little crossover maneuver? Oh. See, that's what happens. You get cocky and you die. Oh. And also another thing they do to stop the motion sickness is when you swing around a corner, you swing very quickly. It's like like a teleport swing. It's not a slow climb, a slow sort of twist, because they know that if you did a slow twisting of the environment, it would make you feel quite nauseous. So they do it quickly. Watch, I'll show you. As I lean up there, it quickly traverses, and that actually works. That doesn't make me feel ill at all. So not far now. Yes. And honestly, the sense of achievement. You hit the bell. You can even lean forward, and your hand can brush the bell, and it can knock it. And if you really hit it, I can't seem to make it do it, but you can actually make it ring. So it's actually incredibly well done. I'm getting obsessed with ringing this bell now. Anyway, okay, so we've got to go up here, have we? Now, when you get... Oh, God! When you sort of stand on that platform, it's a good opportunity to have a look at the lovely environment, because the clock effectively stops at those little major checkpoint areas, and you get a chance to kind of look around and appreciate things. I mean, I'm not really trying for a record time here, of course. I'm too busy chatting. But if you're trying to get a good time, trying to get onto that kind of ghost leaderboard, then obviously you're going to be wanting to sort of get on with it. But, you know, having the ability to stop, look at the environment, it's actually quite pleasant. Oh God, that was close. Okay, I better do a re-chalk now, because this is getting silly. Actually, it strangely makes you feel very, very good doing a re-chalk. Makes you feel ever so slightly safer. Your grips get better. Oh, this is tricky, isn't it? Oh, I didn't expect that. I should have just let go. Oh my goodness. They told me an amusing story about the sound guy in this, because the sound guy did a bunch of recordings of him grunting and moaning into a microphone. And he kind of did them himself, this sound guy, as a kind of test, like a placeholder. And when they listened to it, they absolutely loved it. The dev said, no, this is perfect, we don't need to redo this. And so I don't know whether they sort of did a bit more kind of mastering on it or whatever, but the sound guy did such a great job on his first pass that they kept it in. And I agree, it's really good. I mean, the sort of anxiety and panic you hear rising up in your character's voice, it kind of absolutely emulates the sense of panic rising in your own body, you know. So it's pretty good. Now look at this environment. I mean, just look. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, I'm going to memorise that path. I don't like to use that, so it feels a little bit like cheating. But gotta be careful. Oh. Okay, be careful, be careful. Because you jump when you've got too much red on your hand, you'll slip. You will slip. Oh! It's actually incredibly intuitive, the way this feels. Oh, am I going to be able to reach that? Oh, yes. You can reach a lot further than you realise sometimes. Also, if you get these kind of funny little grip points like that, I don't think you can do sort of half hanging on these. I'm not sure. There's some grips act differently to others. I think that's all I'll say. I'm not an expert on that exactly, but as you progress through the game, you find some grip points have like moss and dirt on them, and you have to brush them out of the way. Some have like prickles and brambles and things. So, you know, there's all kinds of kind of things you have to watch for. Oh God, I didn't lean up then. Okay. Whew. Okay, so I can go that way or I can go that way. Let's just have a little look. Oh no, it's now saying go this way, so... Oh, really?
Oh. Okay, right, okay, I see. Oh! Oh my god, that was terrifying. That was terrifying. No, just do it again. That ain't so good, that isn't so good. Oh, come on, that's it, that's it. It's not so easy to do that, you have to lean around those corners. Oh! So I'm having to concentrate, as you can tell. Oh! Okay, okay. Let's do a quick rechalk here. It's getting a bit hairy. YOLO indeed, Bracelet. YOLO indeed. Right, where am I going? Down there. And like where you look, you tend to drop towards. So actually, dropping is a little bit hard. I don't know, a little bit easier than jumping, I'd say. Yes. I hope you can hear the honest sense of achievement in that yes as I reach the platform. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, so I've got a clear path up there. I'm going to take it. Let's do this. I'm just going to shimmy up this little gully thing here. Which way can I go? I can go... Well, it's saying go that way, but I seem to go the other way as well. But anyway, okay. It's obviously saying this is the shortest path from that particular position. I feel like I'm giving my my neck a good stretch. I'm sure that's a good thing. I have played this quite a few times. I'd just like to say no neck injuries reported. If anything, it's probably very good for your neck. Obviously, be careful. Don't be daft. Right, up. Yeah, you reckon? Okay, let's try it. Whoa! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Yes. Okay. Scratch a little rechalk here. There we go. Safe again. Lean around the corner. Let's go. Right, let's have a little look. I remember when I was in the Crytek offices, I kept saying to them, "Look, hey, you're going to put a jump scare at this point. I can just see a jump scare happening." And you do get the occasional little thing that makes you jump. Not like, you know, not like an alien jumping at you or something, but just, you know, a bird will fly out of a nest or something like that, and like that. It's not massive. It's just like things that draw you to the environment. And they told me a very important thing. They've been doing a lot of work understanding what makes you feel ill in VR. And of course, this is marked as an intense experience, right? You're climbing up the face of a rock. You've got huge heights involved here. And if anything, you know, they wanted to make sure this didn't make you feel sick, of course. Now, one of the things they're concentrating on very much indeed was sound. And I didn't realise this until I talked to them, how important sound is to making you feel kind of well-placed, well-situated within an environment. Now, the wind is howling through this gap here, the leaves are moving, and that feels right. I can hear the buzzing of an insect behind me. As I turn around, the insect will fly past. If I hear the cawing of a bird, I turn around, the bird flies past. Now, what they said to me was that what they've noticed is that people tend to look for these visual cues, you know, these kind of audible kind of things in the environment, and if they're not there, that can actually contribute to the feeling of unease, which can contribute to the feeling of sickness. So, you know, it's not just about motion, it's actually more complicated than that, and I thought that was very interesting. I'd never really considered it before. Oh dear, I surely died at that point. Alright, let's try and get across this gap. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, now where am I going? Up there, kind of obvious. Let's do this. Alright, go. Oh, yes. Checkpoint reached. Okay, come on. Come on, brain.
calm down. Just do a little re-chalk. Nothing to worry about. Where am I going? Around this corner, apparently. Oh! Now where? Well, that's not much help. Where am I going? Where? What? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! Flip. Flipping Nora. That was intense. Okay, okay, okay. Yes! Oh, what was that? Oh! Look! Look at that! Oh my god, that's so wonderful. Look, the leaves! The leaves! That is brilliant. Honestly, that just gives me an absolute thrill. Just brilliant. It honestly felt like seeing a helicopter. That was just incredible. Seriously, the hairs have gone up on my arm. That is such a lovely effect. The 3D audio was perfect. The way the environment reacted to the downforce of the blades, just wonderful. Hopefully he's there to rescue me at some point. Oh, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Okay. Come on. I should be able to do this. Really? Okay. Oh, what was that? Eagle, obviously. Bloody eagles. Right, which way am I going? Oh! Great. Okay, okay, okay. I'm safe for now. Oh! I need to do a re-chalk urgently here. There we go. That's better. Go climb. I am climbing. Wow, look at that. There seems to be light coming through that hole there. So it obviously joins up with the holes above it. It's like a holy rock. Whoa. Okay, okay. I'm alright. Yes! Oh! Look at that view. Oh! Oh my goodness, look at this. That's so cool. That is beautifully done as well. Really beautifully done. I don't want to spoil it, of course, but clearly that's some kind of mapped, you know, little kind of movie or GIF on the skybox. But it looks, I mean, I say clearly, I only know that because I know a tiny bit about programming, but such a brilliant effect to do it the way they've done. I think to do some kind of, you know, sort of particle effect firework would look rubbish, but that actually looks incredible. What an effect. And there you go, I made it on medium. See? I can do it. I did it, bum. You just want to stand there for ages looking at it. And I will. Beautiful. Really beautiful. It's such a shame that nowhere like this exists in reality. It's obviously borrowed from many different areas of Southeast Asia. But yeah, Vietnam, I'm guessing, and I think they told me it's Vietnam, Thailand, obviously. They're like the hollowed out, it's the cores of the volcanoes. As the earth gets washed away around them, the kind of volcanic core remains, and you get these big kind of volcanic core things pointing out in the sea. Very lovely. Okay, right, so what I'm going to do now, I've completed that level, let's go and have a look at something else. So let's have a look at Canyon. Now I'm going to do Canyon, yeah, I'm going to do it on medium as well. Now this time I'm actually going to do it against somebody. I'm actually going to try. Mentat Bob. Let's try you, Mentat Bob. You've been randomly selected.
You're clearly a lot better at it than I am. So, first of all, let's look at the environment, obviously based on the Grand Canyon. Brilliant. Oh, helicopter going overhead. We've got various wildlife floating around. We've got different vegetation here. Very dry environment, very arid. Now, as soon as I start to grab, he'll start to grab. You can see his first move is there, and I'm going to do the same thing. Let's go. Well, this is a good start, isn't it? He's whizzing off. Oh, he's off, look. Oh, I'm really trying there. All right, which way am I going? Oh, no! Survive your first crumbling grip. Okay, so, no, that wasn't so good, was it? Now, how am I going to get around here? Let's have a little look. Let's try jumping up there. Oh, that was close. That was close. That was very close indeed. So I want to be going down, do I? Okay, fair enough. What was that? Another helicopter. Oh, it really is super. I mean, I love the fact you can look around, and there is stuff hidden. I won't give away too much, but they gave me some interesting kind of hints. There's actually things hidden around on the map. There's like I think there's GoPros and things that you can sort of grab hold of. Are these crumbling things? I've got to be quick. Oh God. Oh. Okay, the clock has stopped, but I think the guy I'm racing against here is long gone. You see the eagle there flying off? Oof, blimey, heck. Okay, where am I going? Okay. Oh boy, look at that. Look at that river down there. That is just so beautiful. It's so wonderfully well rendered. Just, honestly, I think I was watching a movie. Oh. Okay, there's a bug. They've been very kind, and they haven't put spiders in it, as far as I know anyway. I haven't seen any spiders yet. Oh. Come on. So often the voice will make the same sort of grunting noises as me. Alright. Now there's stuff on that, isn't there? There's stuff on that. Oh God. Oh. Oh God, that was terrifying. So when you get a... Oh gosh. Alright, let me show you how you're supposed to do this. Right, so I'm going to grip with both hands. I'm going to find the technical point on that left hand. So now I can just hold that. I'm going to reach up and I'm going to just pat off the dirt. Then I'm going to grab it. Then I'm going to reach, get into a technical point there. I'm going to swap hands. Get it into the right point like that. Reach up and grab it. You see, it's actually pretty difficult, but extremely satisfying when you actually get it done. Come on. Okay, re-chalking, hanging on with my fingernails, quite literally. Okay, I think I just need to do a jump here. Oh, whoa. I'm glad I re-chalked then. Oh, that could have been quite hairy. I definitely need to go that way. Wow. Jeez, that was amazing. And it just passed in front of the sun, so you got that kind of shadow pass over as well, just to make it even more sort of real feeling. Okay. Alright, alright, alright. Can I get up there in one leap? Let's try. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Now which way am I going? That way, alright. Re-chalk. Safety first. Ah, ah, ah. Alright, come on. Let's concentrate here. Boy, oh boy. Yes. Okay, so I need to get up there. Oh. Oh. This is terrifying. I don't know how it's terrifying, but it is. Well done, you guys. Seriously. Crytek, you're geniuses. I'm sweating. Literally sweating. Not just in the game. Not just my avatar. Me. That's probably more information than you needed to know, but it's really quite stressful. But in a good way. Oh, I could just get to that carabiner. Come on. You only live once. Yes. Oh. Alright, come on. Alright, I can do this. Oh. Alright, come on. Okay. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. How the hell? Oh, no, no. Oh, my goodness me, that was terrifying. Oh, take the high road. No! Come on. Oh, that's giving me the heebie-jeebies. I'll tell you what, let's go and have a look at the last level, because I don't want to keep you doing the same one again. So I'm going to quit that out. And as you can tell, it was actually quite difficult trying to race against that guy. But I'm going to take a look at Alps. I'm just going to do this in my own time without it being a race. So I'm going to try medium on Alps. You do have the ability in this game to sort of turn off the fatigue, as it were. So you don't need to re-chalk. And it makes it so you can basically race up a lot quicker. And that actually makes the game a little bit more sort of for the casual gamer, so you don't have to actually learn any of the technical moves. I mean, I actually prefer playing this game properly. I haven't been tempted to do that. But if you just want to have a look at the view, then that's a really good one to do. Now look at this. Whoa! Oh, remember those guys? Off to certain death. Oh, brilliant. Okay, here we go. All these things I'd love to do in real life. I mean, I'd love to do this in real life, but I'm scared of, you know, dying, like most people. Ah, god damn it. Okay, let's do this quickly. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's try and do this quickly and sensibly. Oh, there's like a kind of, I think they're called poison grips. I forget. Let's see if I can do this, so. Good, good. Now I don't know if I can touch that at all. Oh, that's right, I can't. but it just, what it does, it sort of drops your stamina or something. Basically, it's a, I can't remember what they call it, like a poison grip. So, you know, it's clearly got a very nasty spiky plant on there. But, you know, touching a spiky plant or plummeting to your death to be dashed on the rocks below, I know what I'd probably do. Right, here we go. Can I reach that? Yes, I can. Fantastic. Right, which way am I going? Reckons that way, but I can't see how. Ah, yes, there, look. Right, can I get across there? Oh, I can. That was satisfying. I heard an eagle. Well, let's just chalk up. I hate having sweaty hands, and quite often I see the sweaty hands. Let's check my time. Oh. Right, okay. Something very clever about having an actual a thing actually in virtual reality that actually is part of the game. Just kind of reminds me of some other games that do that, like Giant Cop does that as well. It's a very kind of nice little idea. Oh, right, which way am I going? That way, I guess. All right. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Look at that. Look at the way the shadows come across that rock and reflect off that lichen. The trouble with lichen is it grows too slowly. There you go, I've completely ruined that John Wyndham book. Okay. Where am I going? Yes, eagle. I did almost fall to my death. Thank you for noticing. Yes, I don't know why I'm playing this game still when I'm clearly sweating like a stuck pig. Oh no, that's bleeding like a stuck pig. Just sweating like a pig. Ah! I need to touch that carabiner, but that involves dropping. Okay, here we go. Okay. I'm alright. Don't know. Where do I have to go now? Really? Really? Oh, bloody hell. This is getting to me, this game. Okay. I don't know why I'm laughing. I think it's just anxiety now. Yes. Checkpoint reached. It's nice when you reach checkpoints, because obviously if I fall now... Oh, dead. I'm back at the checkpoint. I've never... That's really strange. For all the times I've played this game, I've never intentionally looked down and let go of my controller. That's very interesting, isn't it? It's because you really don't feel inclined to do so. Such is the power of virtual reality. Okay, quick rechalk. And grab. Ah, there we go. Oh, I've got some technical grips here. Oh, 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 oh. I don't know, I think that wasn't actually half bad. I think I handled that very well. Can I do this? Yes, I can! Oh, look at that view. Wow. Yes. I agree with you, Hans. Very exciting. Oh, look. I forgot about this bit. Ha. Oh. Oh, oh, oh. Bloody hell. Excuse my language. That was a bit hairy. Oh, that was pretty close. I didn't think I was going to get that. Oh no! Oh. Bloody hell. Oh yes. Okay. Now, you see that arrow? One thing they told me at Crytek is basically you don't always have to follow the arrow. There are occasionally shortcuts. You know, you can go high and you can jump down and that kind of thing. And you sort of learn that when you do these courses. And it's even more satisfying when you actually take a route that they're not recommending and you find something new. Okay. Yes. Did it. I'm guessing up there. Okay, I'm going to go this way. See, I'm going a different way. I'm going my own path. And I've done it. Look at that, I skipped a whole little section there. What was that? Sounded like one of those wingsuit dudes again. Crazy. Alright, I'm okay. Really? Really? Okay, concentrate, man. Concentrate. Yes. Oh, those drops, they really get to you. Hey, I didn't. Did I get that? Yeah, I did. I like the way you can reach out and touch it. The funny thing is, these kind of almost sort of disembodied hands, it's quite an interesting effect because it does feel like, after a while, your brain gets convinced they are your hands. Even though my arms aren't moving. I don't know, just... Obviously this game is going to be amazing in Oculus Touch. I just cannot wait to try it. But it doesn't make the game unplayable. You know, it's not like it's half as good without Oculus Touch. It's, you know, I don't know, it's hard to put a figure on it, but it's still a great game with a controller. It doesn't need touch. And that's, you know, testament to the way they've designed the controls. It's testament to the fact they've actually put a lot of effort into making this a good experience either way, right? And that's really excellent. Maybe they had some information that touch was being delayed first. You'd think so, wouldn't you? And we are all waiting for touch, aren't we? Comments below. I'd like to know what your plans are. If you've got a Rift, are you buying a touch? Did you cancel your Rift because you were so keen on the whole room scale thing with the Vive and you just couldn't stand not having the Oculus Touch? Maybe that's what made your buying decision at the end of the day. And I think that might be true for some people. Room scale is an attractive proposition. But I'll tell you what, and people don't like me saying it, but the Oculus Rift is a better headset. I'm sorry, but it is. Anyone that says it isn't is actually saying, I don't like Facebook. Admit it. The truth will set you free. There's no way someone who's tried both headsets would say that the Vive is better quality. It just isn't. Now, the question is, you know, which one gets the most use in my house, Vive or Rift? Well, definitely the Vive, because I've got kids, and my kids absolutely love room scale. Ah, I found a gnome. Hello, Mr. Gnome. Let's just go a little bit closer. I'm going to grab you. Oh, no, I'm not. What was that? Might have been a hang glider. Let's just do that. Get some chalk on me. Can I grab you now? Why can't I grab you? Oh my god. That was karma. Never kill a gnome. Never kill a gnome. We've all learnt something there. I mean, if anything's going to be bad luck, killing a gnome, surely. Where am I going? Oh, I'm going completely the wrong way. That'll be it then. That'll be why. Alright, take a rest. You sort of get into a nice routine with this. Let's re-chalk. Come on, take your time, man. You don't want to plummet to our certain doom. Yes. Why am I not grabbing around that corner, surely? Oh. Oh, yes. I forgot about this bit. Damn. Now, you can do quite long movements just by leaning your head across like that. Oh, you see that glider? Yeah. Oh, no, 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 no. Calm. You tend to sort of have a kind of brain freeze moment. You forget things like, you know, that you can do that kind of technical grip so you can dangle for longer. Sometimes you just forget that in the panic. But it's a very important thing to do. So, the leap of faith. Come on. What was that? Oh. Oh. I've done that twice, and both times I've been successful. Much to the annoyance of the Crytek guys. They really thought I was going to fall when I did that. But I didn't. Oh no. Yeah. Look at this. Isn't this great? What a view. Oh, wingsuit guys. Hey, see you later guys. I'll send flowers to your funeral. Oh, right, let's press that. And we're off. Look at this, huh? We're moving. I didn't do this before. I've never actually done this. Let's lean around that corner. Really? How am I supposed to get up there? Whoa. Oh, oh, ah, 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 ah. You guys are idiots. Crazy fools. Where are they going? Alright, we're getting there. Oh wow, look at this. Oh. Okay. I've got to do another leap. Oh dear me. It's not good. There's a lot of poisonous plants there. Brilliant. What a relief. I made it to the carabiner. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm not a climber. My kids are climbers, but I'm not a climber. Another one. Oh God. So this kind of leaning stuff you end up doing. Lean. I just realised what that whooshing thing is. It's a glider, isn't it? I hear it from time to time. Alright. It's so intuitive. It's quite crazy how intuitive this is. Like, I knew to sort of nod my head to make the hands duck underneath there. Just felt right. Oh. Oh. Gosh, this looks a bit tricky. Oh, bloody hell, every time. Oh, oh it's so silly, but... This is really getting to me now. I've got to concentrate or not do this. Right, come on. This is, you know, getting stressful, but fun stress, right? That's a thing, right? Oh. Right, let's re-chalk, come on. I can hear the devs at Crytek screaming, "Re-chalk, you bloody idiot." That's a long way, isn't it? Oh, but I did it. With the power of believing. Oh, that wasn't so good. Look at that drop. Right, let's just re-short though, because this is a bit trickier than I thought it'd be. Oh. Sometimes you have to lean right forward. Alright. Alright. Oh! Oh god, I screwed that up. Alright, okay. Okay. Oh! Oh god, that sounds... Alright. We're okay, we're okay. Get rid of that dirt. These really should be clean already. What was that? Hello, Eagle. Yes, thanks for that. I didn't do anything to you. Leave me alone. Bugs! So much to look at. Oh, he's under my hand. You can tell that somebody at Crytek spent a lot of time working out how the bugs move and how they react to the waving of the hand. He's a friendly one. Oh! Dead. Oh well. I got too attached. Never get attached. Never get attached to the wildlife. They always die. Yes, I did it. I seem to make the same satisfied noise each time. Have you noticed this?
Whoa!
Oh no 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 no! Oh, that was good. That was good. I kept my cool. I kept my cool and I was fine. Alright. This looks a bit trickier. I'll be honest. Come on, I should be able to reach this. Yes. Okay. Oh, that was good. That was good. There's the bell. Saved by the bell. Well, I have to get there, don't I? I don't want to get to the bell. I feel very sort of the great need to ring the bell, but I can't. You know what? I don't think it's worth risking death for. I'm sure it just rings. All right. Yes, 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 I did it, I did it, I did it. Wow. Woohoo indeed. Ah, look at them, you bloody idiots. Whoa, and another one. You have to buy the beer, man. Quite a view. Quite a view. So instead of fireworks, you get people. Pretty cool.
I'd like to see some more of those guys fly past, but I don't think I'm going to. Very cool indeed. I'm just absolutely staggered by the way the water looks. Oh, wow! Look at that! You really get rewarded. I know this sounds like a strange thing to say, but the sense of satisfaction and reward you get from just seeing these scenes at the end. Just brilliant. Wow! It's worth it. It kind of makes it worth, you know, it's like, it's hard to explain. There's not many games that will actually make you want to achieve to see the end result. And of course with VR, they can actually reward you with a fantastic view and stuff happening. And that's what The Climb does really, really well. I can't think of another game that rewards you with beauty, you know? And that's what The Climb absolutely does. And that's, I think, what makes it special. It's not even the physics, it's not even the clever controls. It's just the fact you feel a sense of satisfaction and reward. Very interesting. But you can stand here for ages. My wife, oh look, a train. Train spotter in me just came out now. It's the 5:47 to Geneva. Right. Wow, there he goes again. Doing a big loop. That's so cool. You're crazy, man. Anyway, I'm going to stop there. So let's have a little look around this menu. So when you finish, obviously you get these things called flow scores, which are kind of based on how quickly you do it, how much of a good flow you had, you know, whether you paused or fell, you know, knocks off your points, and you get this kind of calculated flow score, and that goes onto the charts. Obviously, you get a kind of meter per second, a time, and a flow score. So it's very, very good. Excellent, and I think I'll just leave it at that. I don't think. Oh yes, I haven't talked about gear, have I? So look at the gear. There's my gloves. I've picked these nice gloves with the sheep on, well, a mountain goat. But look, it tells you when you've got new stuff you've unlocked through being awesome. So at the moment I've got that YOLO badge. I could have 500-meter climb. There you go. I could stick that one in there. And look, it's a little kind of Fitbit type thing, which is nice. So again, it's another little bit of interaction. So as I scoot through, I can get these like trendy bands. Oh look, handcuffs. As if I'm on the run. I get it. That's cool. Right, I'm going to stick with the handcuffs then. I like the fact there's a little dangly chain. Watches. So you can change your watch as well. I forgot this. Yeah, so you can change your wristband colour and stuff like that. I'll have pink. I can carry off pink. Gloves. Again, you can sort of cycle through them. And yeah, go for all those. Excellent. You get kind of flag gloves as well. I haven't unlocked everything yet. There's absolutely loads of them you can have, and you can have sort of, you know, Union Jacks and you know, star-spangled banners. There you go. So that was The Climb, and I'll do a little bit of summing up now. Well, I'm quite hot. I've got the old Rift face going on. Look, you know. Bit of a mark on the old face there, and I think that's from the fact this is actually quite a physically intense game. What to say about The Climb? I mean, graphically, absolutely nothing touches it. It really is in a league of its own. And what would you expect? This is made by Crytek. Now, I'm a Crytek fanboy. I completely admit it. When these guys called me up and asked me to come and talk to them, as I mentioned earlier, I jumped at the chance. These are the chaps that invented Far Cry, for goodness sake, Crytek. They completely revolutionised the entire PC gaming world, in my opinion. And this, the Climb is an entirely different kettle of fish, right? This is an entirely different game. And in that sense, it's very innovative in its approach. The controls are innovative. You're rewarded with beauty rather than anything else. You're rewarded with a beautiful scene that you can look across. And I think that in itself is very innovative. That sense of satisfaction when you jump across a gap and grab hold of a rock face and you make it to the next carabiner. It's just very good. Now, if you suffer from vertigo or you've got a sore neck, obviously avoid this like the plague. But the rest of us, you know, if you thought this looked good, absolutely, you need to take a look at this game. Now, will it get patched for touch? I am assured it will get patched for touch.
Now, I don't want you thinking this is a touch-only game. I must admit, that's what I thought. I honestly thought, the Climb, is that really going to work without the touch controllers? I can see it as a touch game, but actually it's been very well implemented. You don't need touch. And in fact, you can pick this up before and try it with the controller, see what you think. And then when touch comes along, it's going to make this game even better. It's intense, of course. I actually feel a little bit nauseous. I don't usually get nauseous with games, but I have been playing it for a fair while. I've probably edited it down a little bit, but I've been playing it for a couple of hours. It's not one that I can play for 3-4 hours at a time, of course, but it is one I can go back to, and it is one I would use as a demonstration for my friends, just to see how beautiful VR really can be. So all that remains really is to sort of thank Crytek staff for thinking of me, bringing me over to their offices, and being just open and honest with all my probing questions. They gave me lots of off-the-record stuff, which was very nice of them. You know, they're very, very honest people. And I don't know what you expect. I guess they're exactly what I expected from a company like Crytek. They were extremely driven, absolutely loved VR as a technology, as a new canvas to paint with. I've never met such a nice bunch of people. I mean, at the end of the day, this was a Saturday I went over. On a Saturday, they managed to drag in half the team to talk to me. Me, come on, you know. They were so keen, you know, they looked actually enthusiastic to be there, glad to be talking to someone, keen to be talking about their game, keen to be talking about VR. Real, true kind of VR evangelists. So yeah, thanks guys. I really did appreciate meeting you, and hopefully my review has done it justice. Now, I would urge you to support the team, and I would urge you to pick this up. But I'll say, I'm not going to lie, it's an expensive game. It's $49.99, I believe, was the price at launch. I think it still is that. Unfortunately, I can't check on my Oculus account because I own the game, so I can't see how much it's priced. But I believe it is still $49.99. That's a high price, of course, but you have to understand that nothing else really touches this. When you consider the quality of the game, it's most likely worth it. If you're watching me playing it and you thought, wow, that actually looks really good, then buy it, because it is that good. If you're looking at this thinking, oh God, I wouldn't want to play that, it'll give me vertigo, then don't buy it, of course. It's really in a different league, that's all I'll say. And is it worth $49.99? I think I would have preferred to see it a couple of dollars cheaper, but you know what, it is worth it, because this is unlike anything else. So anyway, there you go, that was The Climb. I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you enjoyed my review. And do pick it up. In the comments below, I'd love to hear what you think of it. And the devs, trust me when I say this, they are watching YouTube, they are reading the reviews, and they absolutely love to see people enjoying their game. So if you own this game, whack a video up on YouTube, because these guys absolutely get a kick out of it. Thanks so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, and I will be speaking to you soon. Bye-bye.